Cheers and welcome to Bitter Reality Brewing. Yeah, freaking clear, isn't it? I mean, beautiful. Beautiful
Very
clear
nice
beer.
looking beer, yeah.
Super clear. The foam has gone down. It didn't have too much, but
But it was perfect. It was nice.
Yeah, it had some. But this is from My Brew Supply. That's right. And that is Robert at My Brew Supply. I just realized recently, I was looking up stuff on My Brew Supply. His company is growing, and it's growing very quickly. So if you haven't checked them out, they have their own website, but I'm pretty sure I saw some beer kits on Amazon recently.
Oh, neat.
And why is Drew
2-day
here?
shipping. Free beer.
Free beer.
As always.
So we went out, had some food, but yeah, this is the beer that he sent me, and he sent it to me as an ale, and using the Nottingham ale yeast because a lot of people can't brew lagers. They just simply can't get those cool temperatures and maintain them. And it's winter. I'm assuming anybody up in Ohio area where he's located can probably do this with some heat, but I'm down here in Florida, and I think it's like 50 something tonight.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, but normally it's like 75, 80 degrees. Oh, hey,
90.
it's Christmas, it's 90, yeah. So we are just pouring this, and this is, if you haven't seen the brew video, please go see it. Please, yeah, there you go. Brewed it on an anvil, very simple recipe, 6 pounds Pilsner, 2 pounds Vienna malt, and a whole pound of Munich 1. But it's got the Hallertau middle fish, whatever, it's like a noble hop.
Okay.
And it's got at 30 minutes, and then it's got another addition at 20. I think this is my old recipe because I had to modify it a little to get the IBUs just where they need it to be. But we're sitting at 4.8. So this is a nice, sessionable, year-round go-to beer. And you can brew it. You could say, hey, Robert, I want this, but I want it as a lager. Give me a lager yeast. And if you don't have really good temperature controls, you could do 3470 yeast, and that'll help a little bit. But yeah, I've already had a glass, and I'm definitely enjoying it. I do think I like it maybe better as a lager. I don't know. I haven't had it in about a week. So we're going to do the taste testing, the smell test. He's already been going, smells good to me.
It smells good. It smells like a pretty traditional German Pilsner, so.
It's got the light hay smell, but it's also got a subtle sweetness smell. I think that's the Munich or Vienna. That like a little bit of a sweet smell. Just a subtle.
Like a Helles would have?
Yeah, like a Helles, exactly like a Helles. Or a Vienna. Okay, carbonation is still not kicking 100%.
I think it's pretty good though. Yeah, sure,
But I mean in suspension.
It could be more.
In suspension. I'm not getting the carbonation in suspension like I should.
But
super smooth.
Yeah. Very smooth, very just solid traditional flavor. It's good. I see what you're saying with like the lager versus the ale.
Yeah, and actually I said that based on tasting it about a week ago. I just tasted it now. It's very smooth now. I think it may have just needed that week of conditioning because the malts kind of stood out a little more than I felt they should. And as an ale, that would be normal. As a lager, it would be much smoother. It's drinking more like a lager right now. I'm not gonna say it is a lager, but it's very smooth.
It is. I would say it's maybe lighter than I want it to be, flavor profile.
Well, it's 4.8%.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I've had 4% beers that have more like body to them.
True. We did eat a little food earlier, so taste buds might be off a tad, but
good.
This would be what I would recommend. This would be my spring, summer beer, early fall, or your first beer around the whole year. I mean, this would be a great starter beer any day of the week. But summertime, you could knock back a few of these if you're doing a lot of work around the yard and stuff around the house without a problem.
I can feel fall, actually.
Early fall, I think, or
fall
if it's your starter.
That straw flavor that a lot of these have. It's just,
well, and the Munich really gives it. The Munich seems to give it a little body. Let's see if I remember what the temperature was that I fermented it at. I tried to follow what he said on that. Actually, 152. Yeah, that makes sense then. I didn't ferment. I'm sorry. I mashed at 152. I normally mash at 148. I was going to say it has a lot fuller body than a lot of the beers I brew. The body is there.
This is not an insult to this beer.
Okay.
In case you don't like this beer.
Okay.
A Modelo Oro.
Don't know what that is.
It's their regular Modelo Especial, so their lager.
Okay.
But the light version.
Okay.
It has the same body of that, but it has more flavor than a regular Modelo.
Okay. And a Modelo Dark is a dunkel. I mean, and it's a very nice beer, not a good beer to drink with your spicy food. I like it as a dessert beer with like a flan or something.
Yeah.
But this has a lot with that 152
Makes
instead of
it very
148
solid.
mash temp. It's got a nice body to it.
Just throw it back, you're good. It's nice.
Yeah, it's not as thin or as dry as I usually make my beers. And I'm appreciating it because it's something I don't normally do. And it's working really well here. It's giving it some body, even though it's at 4.8%. It's still got body, which is nice because usually those lighter beers taste very watery.
Yeah.
This is not watery.
It's approaching it, I would say, but it's not like the Oro where it is straight up water. Right?
Yeah, it's definitely on the lighter side, but it's smooth, it's easy going. I'm going to tell you, if you're looking for a beer that's nice, light, if you have somebody, this would be a great beer. If you have somebody who drinks like Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, yeah, any of those, this would be a nice stepping stone into craft beer. You get this and they're like, hey, you know what? This actually has a lot of flavor. I like this. This is nice.
This is really good.
And it's going to lead them into the other beers that you can start kind of getting them into and stuff like that. This would be a great on-ramp to get them off of those, beers and get them into something a little more quality.
Like grain water?
Yeah, pea water, I call it. But yeah, like I said too, and if you want to do it as a lager, it's just a matter of a different yeast. And if you wanted it to be a little lighter, a little drier, you could simply reduce the mash temp from 152 down to 148. But I actually think it works having a little bit more body to it. It gives it a little bit more, I'm here, taste this. So, but yeah, solid beer. I did use a little gelatin in the clarification.
It's really nice and clear.
But yeah, beautiful beer. Followed the recipe to the majority. I did have to make a few minor things, but nothing major. And everything was pre-crushed, which made it really, really easy. It was pre-crushed a little on the heavy, but if you're doing brew in a bag, it was perfect. For me, I just threw some rice hulls in it, called it a day, and I was good. So cheers, appreciate y'all.
Cheers.